All right, everybody. Good late morning. Let's go ahead and get through this one. I know that the Washington Huskies season is kind of unengaging right now because, they had a good season. They made some nice improvements over 2024, but it wasn't a great season. We've got kind of a weak bowl game. Not a terrible one, but certainly not a great bowl game. It's pre Christmas. In fact, it is the second bowl game being played during the bowl season, so I think a lot of people are kind of over it, but we do have this game to play, and I am planning on watching it. I am planning on streaming a play by play of it, and I am planning on hoping that the team finds a way to win. So, yeah, Boise State Broncos versus the Washington Huskies in the LA Bowl in SoFi Stadium. So, it's a good venue at least. But yeah, let's talk about what we're going to be taking a look at tomorrow. Before we go any further into this video, I want to tell you a little bit about my friends over at Sleeper. Let me tell you, if you're not using Sleeper this year for daily fantasy football, you are missing out. Check out the left side of your screen right now. Look at all the great fun stuff you can pick on over there. All kinds of over-unders, pretty much any sport you can imagine. Obviously, we're big fans of football around here. Let's take a look at my entry for this week. I've got Jerry Jeudy going over 34 yards against the Bears. I got Derrick Henry scoring a touchdown against the Bengals. I've got Pat Mahomes going under 241 passing yards against the Chargers. And I have Jason Myers kicking at least 2 field goals against the Colts. So get on over to Sleeper. You can put together an entry just like this. And if you use promo code SBN, you can get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Check them out and test your football knowledge. All right, so first of all, just to go over the technical points of this game before we get started on talking about the matchup. There may be some opt-outs and there are some lingering injury considerations. I found this roundup article on actionnetwork.com that kind of summarizes everything that may or may not happen. So, yeah, there may be some opt-outs on both sides. As of right now, I don't think any have been officially announced, but I guess it could still happen. I guess it could happen all the way up to kickoff. So, on the Washington side, it sounds like there are no opt-outs. We could have seen Coleman, Boston, or Takario Davis opt out, but according to Fishk, everyone is expected to play outside of the guys who are injured, which does potentially include Davis, by the way. So we got that. Now, Boise State does have Ty Benefield, who was basically their primary defender this year. He led the team in tackles by a mile, had a couple of picks as well. So Benefield being out would be very significant, but I can't find any confirmation one way or the other. Let me zoom in a little bit here, actually. Yeah, so Benefield and then Paige Casey, their starting left tackle, could also opt out. He's a probably going to be a draft pick in April, so that would be a significant loss. He is actually the only player on this Boise State team that is currently expected to get drafted, so could be some impact there. We also have some injuries on the Boise State side. Amarian McCoy, Deion Washington, Ben Ford. So just some relatively, I don't want to say small, but some not massive losses for that Boise State team potentially, but it does seem like they're going to be down some guys. They did get their quarterback back in the Mountain West Championship game, so they'll at least have Madsen, but they could be down some guys. And if they're down Casey, that's one of their best players. Benefield is probably their best player, at least on defense. So hard for them to get around that. On the Washington side, Fishk has already said that Coleman and Boston will play. At the very least, it doesn't seem like we're getting any opt outs, like I said, but possible that Davis misses because he's hurt. And we've also got some other injuries going on here. Esteen, we know he missed the Oregon game. Isaiah Ward's been out for a little while. Landon Hatchett has missed a few games now. And Tariq Al Ukda, sorry, probably butchered that. Hasn't played in a while, so don't expect to see him. But Actually, not that bad, right? Like, I've seen Washington. I think we've all seen at least some college football teams get completely ravaged by opt outs for bowl games. Doesn't seem like it's going to be terrible here. Boise State might get a little bit hosed here because if they lose these two guys, that's devastating. But so far, seems like it's going to be okay. So, Boise State this year, kind of a typical good but not stellar Boise State season. 9-4. They controlled things well within the confines of their level of competition. Occasionally, they step outside their level of competition, and things don't go so well. There's a reason why Washington is currently a 10-point favorite and is fully expected to win. So don't get me wrong, they should not be on the level of this Washington team, but they're good and they're generally speaking, I think the best way to put it is well-rounded. They didn't have a great passing attack this year overall. Madsen was okay, but by college football standards, nothing really special. Mainly what they do offensively is they run the ball. They ran the ball for close to 2,500 yards this year, so almost 200 yards a game. They had three different guys that ran the ball effectively for them, so really good stuff there. And one thing about their passing attack, it's not great. They don't get sacked very much. Boise State quarterbacks averaged like a sack and a half taken per game this year. So, really impressive stuff happening there at least. And defensively, like I said, if they're missing their safety Benefield, that's pretty devastating to them. But I'm not hearing he's opted out officially. There isn't a ton to say about that side of the ball overall, though. They do force a good amount of turnovers. They have quite a few interceptions on the year, but they don't get a ton of quarterback pressure. They got a couple of guys that get a little bit, but they certainly don't have any dominant presences off the edge. And it is the kind of team that Washington should do very well against. Washington has seen their offensive production completely fall off a cliff and down to the center of the earth whenever they play high level defenses. It's like a light switch gets turned off. Boise State, this is the kind of defense that Washington could put up 50 plus on, and it wouldn't be that shocking. So I do think that Washington will take care of business here. I think they're going to put up some points. I don't know about 50, but I think they can push up close to 40. This is not the kind of defense that I think can really limit us unless we're down Coleman or Boston somehow, which, again, my understanding is it's not going to happen. But if it happens, and as much as I do like the way Mohammed is played out of the backfield for Washington, and as much as I do like what some of these backup receivers have done while Boston has been fighting through his injuries, it's just not going to be the same. So that would change things a little bit, but assuming we have at least a normal allotment of players, I'm feeling good. Boise State is balanced, they're well-rounded, but there's nothing I feel like they do at an expert level. I don't think there's anything going on with this Broncos squad that I would consider to be fearsome. They're just generally pretty good. They score at an above average rate. They run the ball really well. Their passing attack is adequate. Their defense is workable, but it's not the kind of team that I think is going to beat Washington. So I think we're good. Maybe something like 38-28. I don't know. I'm going high scoring. And hopefully both teams take the game seriously. It's supposed to be the last LA Bowl ever, by the way. All right, see you guys later. Bow down to Washington. Let's get the win, close it out at 9-4, and build on that going into next year.